G'day and welcome back to Pub for Heretics. We are finally doing our Emperor's Children unboxing. Because we live in Australia, it's hard to get everything on time because everything is always delayed.
And we've had cyclones and floods and more floods.
Power out for a while.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Having to deal with all that. Some people were being told that their boxes were damaged and waterlogged. The minis and the books were fine, but the boxes weren't. And people were like, oh, but what am I going to display otherwise? I'm buying it for the box, not the things on the inside.
I'm never going to touch the sprues, but the box is...
The box is where the money's at.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, what are you most excited about for the Emperor's Children box?
Man, as a big music nerd, I'm so keen to get the Noise Marines all painted. I've had this the one Noise Marine that they brought out, the special Rockstar one. I've had that one for so long and I've been too afraid to paint it because it was the only Noise Marine that I had. But now he's getting painted. He's going to join these guys. Did
you paint him like how they recommend with the rainbows and everything like that?
Well, that's why I was afraid, because I was.
Okay.
But I'm not gonna now. Okay. I'm gonna paint him so that he joins, he's gonna be front and center of the Noise Marines that I paint. But he's gonna be similar. Maybe we might be able to get someone from the Armory to help us, which we should probably discuss where we are today.
We are currently at Gamers Village
in Upper Coomera.
Yep.
They have been gracious enough to let us record in their space and
incredibly friendly. Having come from different shops myself and different gamer stores, I've never actually ever felt welcome in any of them.
Yeah.
Not really. There's always a standoffish sort of tension or vibe in a lot of game shops that I personally have been in.
Yeah, I've felt the same
But
way.
this is actually the first one that I've... So if you're ever up in...
Upper Coomera, which is
Gold
Coast. Yeah. Gold Coast. So Upper
Queensland,
Coomera,
Brisbane, Australia.
Yes. Well, Gold Coast.
Gold Coast, whatever.
Yeah. They helped us.
Really helped us getting this Emperor's Children box. So please show them love as they've shown us love.
Yeah, we'll be working with them moving forward as well. We might hold some events here or more unboxings.
Getting lessons in painting and how to use air guns and all that kind of stuff. So that's going to be our ongoing content, as we're going to be trying to work with the greater community as well, which is going to be one of our major points.
Yeah.
Because I don't feel like enough YouTubers, especially Warhammer YouTubers, focus on that.
Yeah.
As far as I know.
No. Well, from what? Yeah. No, not from what I've seen. But so the Armory, they're commission painters that work with the Outpost and work with Gamer Village.
And they might give us some advice on how to paint these new units.
So yeah, we might have to.
But how do you want to paint them?
I kind of really love the way that they look on the box.
The black and pink?
I was thinking I was going to do more purple, but now that I've seen it, I actually kind of like black and purple are sort of my colors, the ones but the pink, it's if I could do a metallic sort of pink, the same shade, I think
some of the Horus Heresy models, the way they've been painted is a metallic purple as well, and that's the whole point, is that they started off a deeper purple, and then when they descended more into the heretical side of things, they actually turned more brighter pink and more exuberant and a bit more out there.
Yeah.
But what do you know about Emperor's Children? Because we haven't talked about them yet because we were saving them for this release.
Yeah, so the PG version?
YouTube friendly.
Okay. They seem to love excess.
Well, duh.
It's from what I've sort of seen. Chains and whips seem to be a big thing with them as well. Well,
to be fair, that's a chaos thing in general, but yeah, they're more whippy and more chainy than the others.
Yep. From what I've seen, and when we spoke about it, the Fulgrim, they like to pull their flesh apart or something. It's a bit.
That's the tamest thing about them, I will be honest.
A bit Hellraiser-y.
Yeah, very Hellraiser-y.
Which is
we're going to go in on the Emperor's Children in our next podcast episode. So we're going to go through Fulgrim, and then we're going to go to Emperor's Children, and then we're going to do Lucius the Eternal, because his model also came out as well.
Oh, okay, because I've been...
He's the one with the whip.
Oh yes, I've been seeing some images of Lucius, and he looks very interesting, so I'd be keen.
He's a very interesting character, and having just read Angel Exterminatus, the book in the Horus Heresy series, very twisted and very tragic.
Okay.
But also good as well, because he's also on an episode of Hammer and Bolter that we're going to be reacting to.
Oh, right. I did see that there was a book that got released as well around the same... I don't know if it was with this or around the same time.
It was before this. It's already out. It's called Eidolon. Eidolon is Fulgrim's first captain during the Horus Heresy.
Yep.
Also another messed up story. That's going to be the prevailing theme with these characters. Yeah, so Eidolon hasn't got a mini, which mystified me, because why bring out a book if you're not going to bring out his mini? So it's probably meaning that we're going to have a second release maybe towards the end of the year of more units, potentially. I don't know.
Maybe he could be a
More
part
character
of the combat patrol, potentially. Like, if...
Potentially.
I feel like if you're bringing this out, you have to be bringing out a combat patrol. Like...
At some point, yeah.
You would think so. Like, they would have that in the works.
Yeah, because the box art for these individual units hasn't even been released yet, so, and the Combat Patrol hasn't either. So the thing is as well with Death Guard is that they have Typhus in their Combat Patrol, so odds are maybe...
That's what I was thinking.
Maybe
like,
Eidolon will be in it as well.
Yeah, that'd be a good shout. Hey, come back to this clip if it gets released and tell us in the comments how wrong we are.
Wrong or right, either way. So yeah,
let's...
that's what you know about...
That's pretty much it. Like,
what do you know about Fulgrim? Because one thing we've obviously turned to know is that the Primarch informs the rest of the Legion.
I don't know a lot about Fulgrim. Like, we did do that episode where we discussed his mini, but we didn't really discuss his story. I'm
going to use the same T word again that I've used so far. Which one do you think it is? Tragic.
Oh, tragic. I was like,
yeah.
Tyranny?
Yes. The best way of saying it as well is probably Greek tragedy.
Okay. Well, I think this is for all the Primarchs. There is a lot of daddy issues.
Yes.
But it does seem very like...
Welcome to the Daddy Issue Legion.
Oh, yes. And I think this is Daddy number 1 issue, Primarch. But yeah, I'm just keen
more like a different flavour of it.
Yeah.
Because they all have their own. Personally, the way I'm going to try and paint these minis is that I'm probably going to do a bit of an out there thing, because I've seen other people in other YouTubes and other people in other groups posting their images of how they're painting their minis, and I've just seen too many good ones, like too many out there, too many interesting colors. Like,
so you're going to do bad?
Yeah, I'm going to do the bad one. So I'm just going to be the contrast and do the bad paint job.
The work, like really bad. Yep.
No, but the one thing about the Champions of Slaanesh, the thing about the Emperor's Children is that they are incredibly individualistic. There's no unity, no real unity. There's no unifying factor. It's not like the Black Legion, how they're all black and they're all black and gold with little bits of individualism.
Yeah.
These characters are so different from one another that like there's no way you're going to end up with the same Emperor's Children character, the same Marine. Like, for example, if you go look at the Ultramarines, they kind of look faceless. Emperor's Children are the opposite.
Yeah, I did notice that actually. That like there
no one Marine is the exact same as the other.
Yeah, there's not a lot of like helmets, but there are, but there's not a lot of like. There's a lot of different faces.
I think a lot of people like painting this particular Legion because there's no right or wrong way of doing it.
Yeah, it seems like you can just do whatever you feel like doing.
After reading the Fulgrim book, and the Fulgrim's Primarch book, and then a couple of the Fabius Bar books, and then other Horus Heresy related characters, the one thing that unifies them is their pursuit of pleasure and perfection. And because of that, and because pleasure and perfection are such a broad range, some go one way, some go another way. Like, there are some that only focus on unifying the Third Legion back under Fulgrim's control, and they focus a little bit more on the older ways, and they're a little bit more disciplined, whereas there are others that are the exact opposite, where they will do whatever it takes just to feel
something,
to chase their desires, chase their senses. And because of that, I've seen paint jobs where they're pure white and gold, and then there's others where they're just pure black with a bit of pink, or like this, like, and some in the books as well, they said that their purple is almost like a fresh bruise, like that kind of color, to try and like imagine it. So literally every shade of purple and pink.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do every single Marine a different paint style.
Oh, okay.
Because that just exemplifies their individualistic nature.
Now, should we give like a little bit of a teaser about a future video that we have in mind in relation to this box?
I think we should.
that what we are looking at doing, we've seen some video, or I've seen some videos where there is enough sprues in here.
Because that's the one thing about a box or a combat patrol or anything that you buy from GW is that there's so much left over that you haven't used.
Yeah. So what we're sort of thinking of doing is we're going to basically make 2 boxes out of 1. So what we're planning on doing is making a real Champions of Slaanesh, a real
Which is just
Emperor's
using
Children.
only the parts from this box. So that'll be the real one, and then...
And then with the other one, we're going to borrow some Horus Heresy Mark 6.
Corvus Pattern, I think, yeah.
Yeah, models, and we're going to make some fake Emperor's Children, which Blake is going to paint. And so we're going to make one that's sort of, I'm going to do like the more basic, like from the box paint, like that's sort of how I'm going to go. And then Blake's going to do like the more extreme, like that's why he's going to paint like one of everything different. Going to be a little bit more kit bashed. Like we're going to try and make like basically fake versus real. And then...
Or official and non-official.
Official, non-official. Like,
Non-official.
I mean, we're still using GW stuff. We're still going to use...
Just kit bashing it.
Just kit bashing it in a way. And then we're going to make like sort of the 2 extremes of like box art. And I'm not a great painter, but we are going to try and get some tips from the Armory, who are the
They are
guys
the
here.
experts, yeah.
They're the experts that do it. So we'll try and do one box version and then one like if you have a few sprues left behind, because someone might want to like
Figure out what they can do with all this
Yeah,
extra bits.
like-
Because you're spending a lot of money on this box, and on top of that, you want to make sure that you're using every bit of it, and it's
Yeah.
just not just going to go
And there's-
into your bits box.
there's my bits box is
Mine's huge.
mine's a bits room.
Yeah.
Not a bits cupboard. So that's what we're thinking of doing. So that's going to be a future video. We have to get through this box first. So
Yeah.
let's actually open up and
I'm excited. Let's do it.
all right.
All right, here
All
we
right,
go.
let's get this open.
Oh, look at that. The full artwork with
wow.
not like that. So just to point out as well what the Noise Marines do is that they literally... This is how far they go, how over the top they are, is that you see the beams coming from the Noise Marine gun.
Yeah.
That could be anything from the screams of a dying baby all the way to lovers dying and embracing each other, or it could be literally be anything. They will use that voice they will use your screams against your own family members sometimes.
Wow.
And kill whoever else they want to kill. And then on top of that, they'll record your screams and then do it again.
Do it again.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay.
And so, as you'll notice as well, that with particularly the Emperor's Children, there's a lot of swords.
yeah.
They pride themselves on being swordsmen, the best duelists of all time. I wouldn't say that they are, but like a lot of them are really good. Like I would put Lucius as one of the top duelists of all time, right up there with Sigismund and Sevatar and a couple of other people like Khan, like really good at one-on-one dueling.
Yep.
So that's why a lot of them carry swords, is because that's one thing they pride themselves on. And a lot of the Legion tries to follow in Lucius's steps.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's crack this open. Let's see what's.
Oh, and first things first, back of the box.
Oh.
More artwork, and obviously the symbol of Slaanesh.
Oh, I love the tank.
Oh yes, because you can see the head. You know what that head
Yeah.
is?
No.
That's a Keeper of Secrets. That's a Slaanesh demon's head.
Oh.
Yeah, I can tell by the curves of the horns.
Yeah.
And then it has the Phoenician symbol around. There we go. So
And the wings.
the wings, yeah. You'll also notice that as well with Fulgrim is that he throughout.
What fresh child-proof hell is this?
Is that throughout his whole life, ever since he was discovered by the Emperor, he always had that one wing on his.
Oh, yes, yeah, we did speak
because
about that in the.
the model
Yeah.
episode, because that's like his sort of.
All right, is it upside down?
Yes, it is upside down. Give me a second. I'm getting to it.
No, I was like, don't open it and then drop everything out,
Yeah.
because that's something I would do.
All right.
And that's
That's a lot of plastic.
what we all buy it for,
Yes.
is just a box of plastic.
Yeah. Well, straight off the bat, we've got the Lord Exultant. Look at his sprue. So obviously as well we've got him holding the whip, different type of options. We've got the cloak. The cloaks can be interesting as well because I've seen people do leopard skin as well, like that kind of leopard pattern.
Yeah.
And then obviously we've got the cool glaive sword that he carries. Just really interesting sort of.
Yeah, it looks great.
And I love that he's got the Phoenician symbol, like the Slaanesh symbol. So that's the thing, is that because the the wing part was originally just the Emperor's Children symbol.
Yep.
And then because of Slaanesh's symbol with the curve on it.
Yep.
They incorporated both of them, so it looks like it's both symbols merged together.
Oh, right.
So you can see how it's like got the curve there of the claw, and then like it turned it into like a bird of prey kind of thing.
Bird of prey.
Yeah, and does this one have different head options? I don't know. No, I think it's just the head. Oh no, there's two heads.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's one head there with the headdress, and then there's another one that has the horns on the back. So there is an exposed head one, which is good. So, and you also can carry a sword or a whip, but obviously, or a plasma pistol.
Well, wouldn't it be one sword and plasma pistol?
Either the glaive or the sword, and then either the pistol or the whip.
Okay.
So that seems to be the options. But you can kit bash it however you want. So that's the Lord Exalted over there. Is it?
Yeah. Yep.
No, I'm just double checking that I've got the name right. Yeah. Because they have such flamboyant names. So that's Noise Marines there. More Noise Marines. And then we have the another identical one as well, another Noise Marine sprue. Now this is where it gets interesting. So we're going to move that over there. Noise Marine. So this box comes with 12 Noise Marines. So these are all, the same.
Identical. Yep.
Yeah, these are all identical. So that comes with 3 giant sprues. Sometimes they'll come up like that. But that's just the Noise Marines there. And then we get into either the Infractors or the Terminators. And I don't know what's the difference, but we'll soon find out.
Yeah.
And then that's another identical one. This is going to be fun putting back together again.
Oh, yeah.
So it looks like you get beautiful customization. And for a long time as well, a lot of Emperor's Children fans had to build their own army just by using normal Chaos Marine Legionnaires.
Yeah, CSM,
and just trying to like kit bash them with whatever they could to try and make them look more just like how Night Lords fans have had to do the exact same thing, Wordbearers fans trying to make them a little bit more embellishment, a little bit more aesthetic. I don't understand why there's some hate regarding these models as well, because some people are saying that they don't like the armor that they're wearing, don't like the poses that they're in. But the thing is that these are actually paying homage to, like, I think it was 3rd, 4th edition or something like that, one of the older editions of Emperor's Children, and some of the artwork as well, with the beaky noses and everything.
Oh, yeah.
So there is actually, like, them being nostalgic and playing back to the history of Emperor's Children as well. And one thing I've also noticed as well as I'm going through this, there's a bunch of vials and a bunch of needles as well. And one thing as well about the Emperor's Children, they love drugs. They love it. Drugs, sex, and rock and roll. This is the Legion for it.
This is my Legion.
And if you see as well, this is a backpack attachment, but it has a vial on the top with a cord that goes straight back into the Marine.
Oh, wow.
It's because whenever they go on a battle, they pump themselves up with stims and drugs and all types of stuff.
So they're all like hyped up.
And I'm reading a Fabius Bile book at the moment where one of them is just like every now and again just inhaling himself with like different types of chemicals just to feel good for 10 seconds.
It's like the guys from Mad Max, that spray the stuff in their mouth.
I was going to say when you use jet and Fallout, but that too as well. Yeah, the same sort of thing. But they also do the same thing with their cultists as well, where they'll put all their cultists or their human menials or slaves or whatever into a ship, and then they'll send the ship to the enemy, and then they'll just flood the whole compartment with drugs and like battle stims and making them crazy as hell, and then ready for fight, and then so that way they'll run straight into the enemy, suicidal and everything. So it looks like that all 4 of these are
identical,
are pretty much the same,
because you can either do 10 Tormentors and 10 Infractors.
Yeah, I think
or you can do 20 Tormentors or 20 Infractors.
You could just all do all of them as Tormentors and Infractors or however, whatever. Because you can take squads of 5 and 10, so you could just break that up in any way you want.
Yep, okay, so you could do, still do 10 and 10, but then have 2 squads.
You could have
like
10 or
5.
5-5, or you could have 5-5-5, but like that'd still be 10-10, you know what I mean? But yeah, so I think that's another reason why people, because the armor is so close to Horus Heresy, that's why you could probably get another box out of these if you kit bash it together.
Which is what we're gonna.
Yeah, which we're
gonna attempt.
But this kind of seems like a very Warp Talon and Raptor situation where you use the box to choose one of the units, where you go Warp Talons or you go Raptors, but you still have all these sprues left over. You still have all this stuff that you don't know what to do with, unless you're really good at kit bashing. But we're going to go through that in another video. So we got one. One thing as well I love is that the perfect embellishment. Like there's so much symbols of Slaanesh. There's so much pomposity with the Emperor's Children, and that's one reason why people love them so much, is because they're just so out there. They're so over the top.
They're the extreme.
And then we've got the whips, and then we've got the swords, and then we've got interesting types of shoulder pauldrons with skin. They love skin just as much as Night Lords.
I know, and that's like the thing that I am like. I feel like I'm the worst at is skin. Yeah. So like, this is gonna really like get me worked up. Who do you think is worse when it comes to like the except like, is it like Night Lords or Emperor's Children, or is like Night Lords like the good version of Emperor's Children, or Night Lords Chaos?
Yeah, they're Chaos.
Oh, they are Chaos. Okay.
Well, so, to put it specifically, Emperor's Children are Chaos. Okay. They are.
Oh yeah.
They are. We're going to cut this out. into Chaos, whereas Night Lords are a little bit 50-50. There's factions of them that don't like abstain from using Chaos, and then there are some that. Because they see it as weak, and then there are some that only use it as a means to an end or a tool, and then there are others that have also gone full chaos. So that's why, and they also have their own disjointed, no unity at all, because there's so many divergent paths. But that's also what is so interesting about Chaos and about Chaos Marines, is that there's so much flavor. There's so much differences. It's not like Imperial Fists or Dark Angels where you can just paint them all the same, and odds are they're all going to be basically carbon copies of each other. Like clone troopers, for the most part, until you get to the characters. But then the problem is that Emperor's Children, Night Lords, they're basically a legion of main character syndrome.
Right, yeah.
But when it comes to if they're just as bad as each other or worse, I would have to put Emperor's Children as arguably the worst, followed by Night Lords, because them causing pain to others, causing pain to themselves in the pursuit of pleasure and what they do to themselves and to other people is their prayer to Slaanesh. So they have that incentive, and the more you do it, the more favor you get from Slaanesh and the more powers you get. But there's also that like incentive for them to do it, whereas Night Lords, they do it just because they're dicks. they do it because they just enjoy it, but not because of any god or any reason like that. They also do it to fearmonger. They do it with a purpose. And like, that's not to point out that, you know, all the other Chaos Legions are instinctively less terrifying. They're all terrifying, but just for different reasons. Like World Eaters and Death Guard are just waves of death, but different types of death. And then Iron Warriors are just unrelenting in their siege and their destruction and, you know, their artillery. Word Bearers are dangerous because of their sacrifices and their demon rituals that they, you know, partake in, and the amount of cultists that they use. Alpha Legion are dangerous because of their insidious nature and the fact that you don't even know that they're there until it's a problem.
Oh, right.
But with Night Lords and Emperor's Children, like in terms of how like grimdark they are, Emperor's Children, Night Lords, Word Bearers.
Okay.
Is how I personally put it. And then you've got Black Legion, which are just smatterings of all of them. And
I suppose like Emperor's Children, they work more closely with Slaanesh, don't they? Like
it depends as well. So, because there is also a lot of the Marines have like a love-hate relationship with Slaanesh. Because it's every emotion. It's everything. So some of them hate Slaanesh, but that also feeds Slaanesh. And then there's some that love them, and then they also love Slaanesh. But then it's just a pool of everything that's horrible about, and that's why like they also like desecrate themselves.
Gotcha.
Because they're trying to pursue perfection, or they already think they are.
But
yeah, back to this. We're going to talk about them in our podcast episodes. So obviously these are all just carbon copies of each other. Lots of swords, lots of whips, lots of different aesthetics that you can go with, and just lots of different types of, you know, embellishments. And that's what you want from Emperor's Children. You want variety. And I think we've got that with this box, and I'm very happy with it. And I can't wait to see what other units they bring out.
Oh yeah.
But now we're going to have a look at this. So we always got this little protector thing.
Yeah, which used to be like a poster, like but
With the Horus Heresy, yeah.
Yeah, they stopped doing it. I don't know why.
Oh well.
Oh man.
Just to remind you that they Warhammer.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Oh. This,
So yes, that's what Fulgrim looks like.
this is the book.
This is also interesting as well because in the lore, after Fulgrim, after the Siege of Terra and after the Horus Heresy, Fulgrim just dipped and left his legion to their own devices. So, and that's another thing because he's also called the Phoenix Lord. So like a phoenix, he's going to rise from the ashes.
Yes.
So all the Emperor's children have just been waiting for him. I can't wait to read his new book and see what the reason is why he came back.
One thing, I prefer the face.
I prefer the head too.
Than
as opposed
what
to
is
the
on
other
the
heads.
mini.
I know.
Like that looks like more chaos, whereas the other
his hair's very back as well. To be fair, I would like to try and paint him like that with a bluish face like that and white eyes because I think that would look cool, or like a lavender kind of color. But anyways, so let's have a look at this.
Ooh, here we go.
And obviously, yeah, you can see over here great artwork as well going through that. Like, look how they mutilate their face and then put a horn on their head for some reason, just so they can headbutt the enemy.
Yeah.
And then we've got the data sheets.
Data sheets.
So that's the Lord Cacophony, which is the one that leads the Cacophony unit, which is the noise, the souped up version of the Noise Marines.
Oh yeah, yep.
So these ones are also highly favored by Slaanesh. So these
Okay.
ones are blessed by Slaanesh.
So, oh,
Yeah, another artwork, but that's the main guy on the box art. But like, that's what I'm talking about. There's just so many different types of purples and pinks that you can go with.
yeah. It is very is it Technicolor? I don't know, like very like vibrant.
Fluoro.
Yeah, fluoro, like
I'm really sorry.
very 70s.
I can't get this open.
Oh.
I don't want to break anything.
know.
We spent too much on this. There we go. All right, so obviously we've got the data sheets. Fulgrim, straight off the bat. I don't know if you've got any artwork. No, it's just the keywords. So we got Fulgrim, Lucius the Eternal, Lord Exaltant that we've got, the Lord Cacophonist, Sorcerer. So Sorcerer is really interesting because some people have gotten their Master of Possessions, and they've just kit bashed it to a Slaanesh Sorcerer. So Demon Prince of Slaanesh, which is the one that you can kit bash, because I know that there's this one and then there's the one with wings. Because you've got a Demon Prince.
I've got the Demon Prince. I sort of made him a mixture of. I gave him the wings.
Yeah.
Yeah, but mine's more Black Legion. Like mine is gonna go with my.
It looks like the difference here
CSM.
is that you sacrifice some movement for higher toughness and obviously probably better weapon units. But that's a Demon Prince, and then that's a Demon Prince with wings. Then we have the Flawless Blades. These are the three swordsman units. The ones with the long heads.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
These are the cone heads.
The cone heads. Yes.
Hot take, hate the heads. I hate the cone head look. I
didn't
don't
like it either.
You know what I want to get? I want to either find another type of head to put it on, like a really cool head, like a really nice looking helmet, and then that would make them look 10 times better.
10 times better.
So yeah, Flawless Blades, Chaos Spawn, they're already out. Tormentors and the Infractors, which are the ones we've got. It looks like there's not that much
difference,
but the difference is that obviously they have different abilities, and one's got infiltrators and one's got scouts, and on top of that, it looks like the Tormentors have different. The Tormentors are the basic Marines because they have more weapon options.
Yeah.
Whereas the Infractors are just bolt, plasma, and then dueling sword, rapier lash, and then power sword. So yeah, it just looks like these might be different ones. And then Chaos Terminators. These are the ones that you just kit bash from normal Terminators.
Yeah.
And then we've got the Chaos Land Raider. Big pink.
I kind of want to buy another. I've got one tank, but I kind of want to make I just think like having like flayed skin. Like
I was literally about to say,
and,
these Land Raiders and all these tanks are like blank slates that you could do whatever you want with. Noise Marines.
My favorite.
Still want the Guitar Boys, but this is also a good substitute. Helldrakes that no one uses.
Wow. I might have to repaint my Helldrake to pink. Like, I would probably use it.
Mauler Fiend, Chaos Rhino, Shalaxi Hellbane. This is the only Master of Keeper of Secrets that isn't named. So you know how Death Guard have Rodicus?
Yeah.
This is their Rodicus.
Okay.
So he's quite up there.
Yeah.
And then you have another Keeper of Secrets. The Demonettes.
Demonettes
Fiends.
are something that I want to look at getting as well.
Getting into? Yeah, I'm sure you do, yeah.
No.
Got him!
Yes.
Oh, look at that, though. Look at that. Fluoro.
Ooh.
That's quality. Now,
Let's get into the book.
actually, there's something else we have to look in here first.
Is it?
Yeah, so it's the bases, obviously, but the one thing I wanted to look at first and foremost was, yes, look at that. That's the transfer sheet. I was wondering what they would do with that. So there's different types of colors. You got gold, black, and pink. Different types of size variations as well. So you obviously your tank ones as well, and you've got chaos runes. I'm really happy about this because they've done them in different colors. Like, for example, if you have a black shoulder pauldron but you put pink on it, or gold, or if you have a pink shoulder pauldron, you can put
black or gold.
Yeah. So it's that added variation. They know what the players and painters are going to be doing. So I'm glad that they've done that.
Yeah.
Because the problem is that whenever you buy transfer sheets for normal Marines, it's just one standard color.
Yeah.
And I'm also sick of getting Ultramarine transfer sheets. I'm not playing Ultramarines.
Yeah.
And then you have to go out of your way to get Raven Guard Salamanders or Imperial Fleet. Yeah. So let's look at the last bit of it. Now, obviously, we've got the Champions of Slaanesh instruction sheet with the artwork on it. Different types of, different ways of doing it. Like we said before, so you could have just like a normal hand with the glaive, or the sword with the Lord Exultant, and then you could change that out potentially with different types of embellishment, different types of heads, and then you've got the Tormentors, and then you've got the Infractors. I want to look a little bit more into what the differences are and see what the actual point is. Like, do you want a whole army of Tormentors, or do you want a whole
army of Infractors?
Or Infractors, yeah. Like, what's the purposes and what's the differences?
Yeah.
And then you got the Noise Marines, different loadouts for them, different options. Awesome. Now, the creme de la creme. The main reason why I wanted this box, because all the other stuff I can get at another date, but this artwork is all the way back to 3rd edition, if I remember correctly. This is what their original codex had on them.
And I love the crop top.
Yeah, the crop top, yeah. But it's again that paying homage to the nostalgic and to what was before. I love that. So, are you ready to have a look?
Oh, I'm ready.
Once you go, you can't go back.
Oh, I'm...
Chosen of Slaanesh.
Oh my god.
Look at that. Imperial Guard getting bodied, as usual. The Illuminated. Yep. Typical. I wouldn't be surprised if that whole tower of people were alive. Yep.
I love the artworks and the codexes.
It's just so out there.
Codexes are like sort of like half the reason.
Look at the original artwork of the Noise Marines.
Yeah.
Then let's have a look. So obviously a Chorus of Excess, Fulgrim, Demon Primarch, the Emperor's Children, Lord of Excess, the Lords of Excess, the Warp Touched, Lucius the Eternal. Oh, look at that artwork. That is beautiful. So one thing you notice as well, he's got these thingos above him. Those are his like combat stims that inject into him every time.
Yeah.
I've read the point in Angel Exterminatus where he takes that whip from a dead Emperor's Children.
Yep.
And interesting thing about his armor that we're going to go through in his episode.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but yeah, he's called Lucius the Eternal for a reason. Just so you know. The flawless blades. These are the Lucius wannabes. These are the ones that want to do everything that he does. And then on top of that, we've got the Lord Cacophonous, which is obviously the leader of the Noise Marines, or the Cacophony. I want to know I can't remember the actual difference between the Cacophony and the Noise Marines. It must be like different levels of worship and blessings from Slaanesh. And you can see the different types of weapons as well. Oh, I love that. The Doom Siren, Screamer Pistol, Sonic Blaster, and Blastmaster. Aspirants of Superiority, Armored Excess, which is the Terminators, Demons of Slaanesh. Yep, look at that.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, it's like some Event Horizon crap.
Yeah.
Have you seen Event Horizon?
Yeah. Not for a long time, but yes.
And then obviously the Showcase. Lurid Magnificence.
Oh.
Obviously Fulgrim, yep.
There's his hole.
Shut up. there's the shoot point.
That's the throwback to the
See what I mean?
Fulgrim
Like the flawless blades, they look great. until you get to the heads. Like,
Yeah.
look at the heads.
Yeah, I think I made a short, like a meme about their heads. Like,
Yeah, with cone heads.
it's just...
And then you got the flawless blade of the Threnotic Choir. He looks like another unit that's coming later. Or maybe something you could kit bash, I don't know. It might be a champion unit that you can purchase by itself.
Yeah.
And then you got Lucius the Eternal. I like that his artwork, like he's changed a little bit. He looks a little bit more sublime, and instead of all the jars on his back being together like that, it's actually spread out. So
Yeah.
that's interesting. And as you can see as well, the whip actually comes out of his shoulder pauldron.
Oh, right.
See if we can get in there. There we go. But yeah, no cone heads. Screw that.
No.
And then we've got all, yeah, see what I mean? Like, look, you've got a pure gold, and then you've got all these different types of Tormentor of the Constrictus, Infractor of the Glittering Myriad, and then Noise Marine of the Threnotic Choir. So you've got all these different types of, like, not successor chapters, but different warbands.
Yeah.
Because that's essentially what Chaos is now at this point.
Man.
Different. Yeah.
But like, seeing that they've got all these...
I think that's Eidolon. No, it's not Eidolon. He's
Combat Patrol.
Yeah, let's see what's in the Combat Patrol. And now we've got the Combat Patrol. So we've got a named character. We've got Lord Caphrael.
So...
But it looks like a Lord Exorton.
But
with
this
a name.
is saying Combat Patrol.
Yeah, this is Combat
So
Patrol,
this
so this is what's going to come out. So it looks like it's a 10 squad of Infractors, Lord Caphrael, 3 flawless blades, and another 3 flawless blades. So that's what's going to come in the Combat Patrol. It's not what we were thinking about Eidolon.
No.
Or anything. No.
Oh, that is it.
That
okay.
is essentially it. So
Wow.
they might be coming out with another starter box, or I don't know. But either way,
Yeah,
they might
I mean,
be
they're going to come out with the individuals.
they're going to try
Like,
and gauge more money out of us. But either way.
Yeah.
So yeah, different ways of painting the Combat Patrol. Obviously, the way the box art goes with the black and the pink. Going
Which
through
is what I'll probably be following.
Yeah. Oh, either way.
And then we've got...
The Combat Patrol Callous Blades with all the different attachments. And then we got into the data sheets for that one. Forces of the Emperor's Children Army Rules. Obviously, if you want us to go through this at a later date, guys, please let us know.
Yeah.
We've got the Mercurial Host. And then we've got Peerless Bladesman, which is if you probably want to run Flawless Blade Army, that's probably the way to go about it.
Yeah.
Rapid Evisceration, which looks like tank and quickness, focusing on speed. Carnival of Excess, if you want to run Noise Marines, probably. Yep. Maybe. And then Coterie of the Conceited. Slaanesh is Chosen. That's cool artwork, I didn't see that one.
That's great.
Yeah. And then we get into the data sheets, which we've already done.
Yep.
But them screwing up some Eldar, the new Eldar models that came out as well. Already been through these data sheets. Just trying to see if there's anything in the back. There usually is. Crusade rules, so if you want to do a Crusade campaign, combat elixirs.
Which is something that I want to look into. There's a few, we've mainly only played 40k.
Yeah.
But we do want to look at doing like some kill team. So we might try and see if we can get somebody like...
Did you want to do like an RPG or did you want to do Crusade?
Well, we might get somebody that is like, you know, works with the Gamer Village that is, you know, kill team, like that can teach us how to play properly kill team. But I also do want to do narrative play, which is something that...
Narrative play interests me more because...
The guys here do a narrative play every Wednesday.
Yeah, something like that. So we could look into that a little bit more.
So if you're interested in it, it's something you could hit
Or if
up.
you want us to play specific games that we haven't played yet, because even though we've been playing for 2 years, we still don't understand all the rules.
Yeah.
Because, you know, we're not rocket science.
We're not. And they change the rules quite frequently.
And
so
yeah, Boons of Slaanesh, Crusade Relics, Battle Traits, Crusade Badges, and Point Values. And that is essentially it. Obviously cut that out. Yeah, and then that's on the back of the box. Back of that.
So.
But yeah, that is essentially the Emperor's Children box. That is...
It's a lot.
That's a lot, yeah. It's a decent amount.
It's a big... I mean...
It's fun. It's like, it's not too big. Like, you know, it's not like 40 odd models, but like, it's just enough to make it interesting.
Like, what was that box that I've got that I still have not unpacked? The...
You've got a few. I'm going to have to narrow that down.
What's it called? The one with the...
It's like he's trying to speak to me, I know it!
what are the aliens? The Xenos dudes? The Tyranids, and what's that?
Are you serious? Come on!
That box called? The
Leviathan box. Yeah.
The Leviathan box. Like I've got that, and I have not touched anything in it other than the books and stuff like that. And that was like very.
Why is your pile of shame bigger than mine?
It was very. Yes, it is quite large. It was very overwhelming. I was like,
that's the point.
That's why I haven't touched it. But whereas with this, like, we've now actually got like a purpose. Like, we're gonna do this. We're gonna make some videos out of it. If you guys have some ideas
or any suggestions about what you want to see, because we are going to be splitting this down between, you know, official kind of
art,
like you know what it is from the box art, and then on top of that, we're going to take it, have them take on. Like, are we going to fight them have them fight each other in a battle, or?
I think we can. Maybe that could be like a live stream that we might do. We're sort of trying to work out what.
We're still figuring this out as we go along.
And as recording this, what's today's date? 21st of March. Like 3 days ago was our 12 months of our first video going up, and
looking back at some of our old videos is just pure cringe. But I'm glad to see how far we've come along.
Yeah, and it's something that we've like really looked into.
Grow up.
Any criticism or any sort of helpful, constructive feedback, please let us know in the comments below what you want to see from us, how we can do better. I'm very keen though to give this box a go and see what we can do with it. Also just to test out the battle rules between you and me, and see how we can do things differently, but at the same time stay true to the love of the Legion.
Yeah. We did want to say thank you as well. We are at what, like 1,600 subscribers or something. I don't know. Can you?
Yeah, 1,600.
Which is like insane to.
Yeah, because last week we were at 900 and now we're at 1,600. So thank you guys. Now we're going to be on our road to 1 million.
I think I said a road to 2,000, and I think we're
almost there.
With your help.
Thank you so much for your support.
Like and subscribe where things
do whatever.
are. Yep.
We're not your mothers. Because you also struggle to be on camera, don't you?
I'm not a camera person. I'm the tech guy.
Whereas I'm
the art guy.
The face man.
Yes. So yeah, thank you for all the
Thanks for
support.
all your help. Join us in the next video. Should be coming out next week every Sunday. We post videos every Sunday, or at least we try to.
We are still working out kinks and stuff, which is perfect kinks for this book. But yeah, thanks for all the support. And thank you to the Gamer Village for
letting us film in their space and then getting us a box of Emperor's Children. Well, you know,
they're awesome space, and we're going to be working with them and
a little bit more.
Doing some videos with them. And
can't wait.
Awesome.
Have yourselves a good day.
Thanks, Abe.
Support your local. See ya.
Bye.
For the glory of chaos.